Hello everyone, and welcome to my first of hopefully many of these videos. I will be doing reviews on movies, comics, animes, and talking about video games, anything nerdy. If you enjoy it, leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, and leave me some feedback, some comments. Any kind of help will do. Hit me up on my Facebook that I'm creating for the group, and we can discuss anything that you would like. And without further ado, here is my review on the movie Venom. I'm a huge Venom fan. Since I actually got into comics, the Venom comics, the Agent Venom specifically, was the first comics that I read, and I read them in Marine Corps boot camp, which is kind of an odd place to read them. But the movie Venom, in my opinion, it was a really good adaptation of the comics. It took from two different series, two different runs of comics. The first of which is the Lethal Protector series, which was produced and released in '93, and it was written by David Michelinie and Mark Bagley. In the series, Eddie Brock, which everyone knows as the original Venom, he made a deal with Spider-Man in New York City and left to go to San Francisco. There he was to do no crime, just stop being bad, like he had been in New York City and everything. And Spider-Man was okay with that. They decided to leave each other alone. While being there, though, Venom was trying to act like a superhero. He was saving people in the streets and trying to do good. But because of the negativity that he got from New York City, he got negative press. They were constantly trying to arrest him, calling him a murderer and everything. Which, he kind of was. But he was trying to do better and start kind of a new life. When it came down to it later on, though, after the bad press reached Spidey, Spider-Man had to come to try to save the day in San Francisco, and that ended up showing Spider-Man that it wasn't Venom that had been doing all this bad stuff. It was some other people, and it ended up with Spider-Man teaming up with Venom to defeat 5 of Venom's offspring, which were Riot, Scream, Phage, Lasher, and Agony, which is a really cool name. But that was the gist of what happened in the first part of the mashup that made this movie. Now, the second was Venom, Planet of the Symbiotes, which was written by Michelinie again. And this part came out in '95. And in this, it was a run of the Amazing Spider-Man banner. And what happened was that an army of symbiotes invaded Earth. And it ended up with Spider-Man teaming up with Venom and Scarlet Spider to defeat all of these symbiotes. Send them back on their way or whatever. And now, if you take all of that, you combine it, mash it up, you take Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider out of it, and then you put a dash of a new origin for Venom, and just a few other things, and da-da-da-da, you have the Venom movie. I think they did a great job casting Tom Hardy as Venom, or as Eddie Brock, per se. He's a very good action actor, and he comes through. He was a very good. Eddie Brock was a good investigative reporter. He, got down to the nitty gritty and everything, and I feel like Tom Hardy did a great job portraying that. And I do feel like he was a lot better choice for Eddie Brock and Venom than the failed attempt at Venom in Spider-Man 3. And I think everyone can agree with me that was a terrible, terrible adaptation of Venom. The action in the movie was on point. You had gunfights, you had car chases, you had symbiote on symbiote fighting action, and then it got down to where you had, at one point, you had Venom fighting an entire police task force, and he kicked their ass. It was pretty awesome. The comedic part of the movie, you had banter between Eddie Brock and Venom back and forth, and in Eddie Brock's head, because Venom wanted to do one thing and Eddie would want to do the other, and they was just back and forth the whole movie. And I really did not expect Venom to be the one throwing the punchlines and everything, but it was Venom that was the most comedic part of the movie, and I think it was pretty well laid out. And now moving forward to the CGI portion, I was kind of worried going into the movie because in the previews and everything, the trailers, I saw like the shiny and glossiness to Venom, the suit and everything. And I guess I wasn't really thinking too much about it before I went into the movie about this isn't a slimy alien symbiote, a living suit. And so, of course, there's a very big chance that it would be glossy and shiny. And once I, was in there, and I really enjoyed how they used the CGI, and that I didn't feel like it was too overdone or anything, and I felt like the glossiness on the suit at that point was okay. And then during the fights, to me, they didn't overdo it. It wasn't overdone like, let's see, Green Lantern, the whole thing that DC did with removing a mustache. That's just terrible. Don't do stuff like that. It's just not a good idea. But the CGI was really good, really well done. I overall feel like they did give Venom more justice than previous adaptation of Venom, like in Spider-Man 3. They stayed more true to how Venom is personality-wise and everything. I know that it wasn't like spot on with the comics, and the origin was a little, it was different. Yeah, he still came from space and everything, but it was still a little bit different. I know that they took away, Tom Hardy had spoken, they had taken away 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, and he said that some of those were some of his favorite parts. And before, the movie was supposed to be rated R. I feel like the parts of the movie they took out was really the parts that made it rated R. And if they do come out with a director's cut and those additional 30 to 40 minutes are in there, I do feel like that will be better, because I feel like that will be what made Venom rated R, and I feel like those would be like the more gory parts and everything. And I would really, really like to see the rated R version and see how much better it actually is. I know that one of my opinions on it is they made it PG-13 because they want to try and make as much money as possible off of the movie, so that they can hopefully keep it for maybe a Venom Part 2. But all that being said and everything, I still feel like it was a really great adaptation of Venom. And my rating, I want to give it 7 out of 10. I feel like it would probably get a higher rating had it actually been rated R, and they added some of that more gore and other stuff like that makes Venom Venom. And I feel like other symbiotes included, that really needs to be done. It needs to be rated R. And like I said, this is my first video. If you could just leave me some likes, some comments. I know I say a lot. That's just me kind of getting over my nervousness and everything. But if you could help me out, give me some reviews, some likes, some comments, message me. We can talk about anything that you all would like to talk about. And I just thank you for watching this video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.